I did them all, so don't worry about it. You just need to check the, obviously the odds are the only ones you had to do. What was this?
This is worksheet 5152.
All right, so for number one, as you look at that, there you gotta have one. So see right here. Okay, so look at what I got.
Was this?
Look at what you got.
No.
So you got it. Like I can't, like on a test, I can't give you that. And I don't have it on there. So number one, it says, tell whether it's a solution. You have to substitute it in. Okay? You don't solve it. You don't solve it. Several of you solved it. That's not the point. The point is you just test it. So look what I have. You test each one, you plug in. So for the first one, when I plugged in -3 for the x and y for the 1, it worked out. I got 1 equals 1 on each side. But for the second equation, it didn't work out. We need to see both cases, whether it works out or whether it doesn't, and why it doesn't. Okay, so we cannot accept like just a yes or just a no. Yeah. You have to validate why it works, and we'll continue to hit that.
So just a quick review. I know you didn't do it. Look at number 2. We plugged 2, -4 into both those equations. You can see it satisfies both. There's the work. So 2, -4 is a solution. Does everybody see on that second, the one we did, number 1, 4y plus 12 equals 3x does not work. Is everybody okay with that? So it's not a solution. Is everybody good with that? Now, yes, ma'am.
So you just have to plug in.
Just plug in the x and the y. Okay, like you see what he did there. So 4y plus 12. What is it? Equal 3x. What's my point? -3, 1. So this, remember, this is xy, right? So it'll be 4 times 1 plus 12 equals 3 times -3. Okay, what's 4 times 1? 4 plus 12.
16.
Okay, 16. What's 3 times -3?
Okay.
Is that true, guys? It's like stereo. Here's it going. No. So it's not a solution. Remember, it has to satisfy what, guys? Both of them. Both of them. All right, you guys look at number 3. Graphing those equations. Okay, they meet at 2,5. 2,5 is the solution for the graph.
All right, how many people got that correct? Because I know there was a lot of misses. So I got 1, 2, 3 of them, actually 4 of them got it correct. Oh, we got another one, 5. Now, do your lines match up with my lines? Make sure they do that, because the first one, one of them, you got to get y by itself.
Do you guys, look, we had this one for the first equation. Can I graph this how it is, guys? Hello. Can I graph this? What do I need to do? I need to solve for y. What do I need? It's one step, Juan. What do I need to do? Subtract what? 2x. So here it is right here. Bless you. That's ready to graph, guys. What's my slope? What's my slope? What's my slope, Addie? It's right there.
Oh, -2.
Yeah. What's my y-intercept, Lindsay?
How'd you find that?
I'm right here. What's my y-intercept? 0.9. The other equation is ready to graph. Y equals 4x minus 3. My slope is 4. My y-intercept is -3. You just plot it. And they intersect at 2,5. 2,5. Now, do you guys want to see 5 or 7 worked out? That's where we had to do some elimination work. 5 or 7. 5? Okay, so number 5. We had y equals 2x, and the other one was what? Y equals 1/2 x minus 3. Okay, so I'm going to put this right here for y. They're both solved for y, so I can just plug them in. So it's going to be what? Okay. What's the smallest x here, guys? 1/2. So subtract 1/2 x from both sides. And I don't know about you guys, but I like to work in nice decimals more than fractions. What's 2 minus 1/2 as a decimal? Wouldn't it be 1.5? A lot easier to work with than 1.5. Equals -3. What do we do now, Jeff?
Divide
By
1.5.
what do I get?
-6.
-3 divided by 1.5.
Oh, it's 0.5. -2.
Now what do I do, Jeff? There's half my answer. I got -2 for x. What do I do now to get y?
Would be don't you take the y equals 2x and just plug the 2 in?
I would.
-2.
I would. I would definitely, guys, I would definitely use that. So y equals 2x. What's x? It's -2. So y equals 2 times -2, which is what? What do we got, Jenna? What's-
-4.
And there's my solution, -2, -4.
Hey, you got some misconceptions. You're not doing this.
Can you tell me what it is?
Oh, which one?
Once you do that.
What's -3 divided by 1? It's negative. That's -3. That's what Yeah.
All right, I'm going to hand out your guided notes here for the next section. This first part here, whoops, never mind that. We are still dealing with systems equations, so that's the good thing. We're going to keep dealing with those. How do you come up with a solution? There is a third way. We've done graphing, we've done substitution, but there's a third way, which, yeah, this was kind of my favorite way. You know, if I got to admit, this is my favorite. It's called elimination. All right, just look at that one. Do not write that down. This is not on your guided notes. So just look at that up above on the TV there. And I'm going to give you the guided notes for today. And Mr. Parker is going to select the answer key. There's another one now. Yep. Oh. Yep. Here. Now something nice happens with what you see up here. Everybody got some guide notes in it? All right, you got x minus 2y, and you got 5x plus 2y.
Just take some out.
I did not. You are allowed to add like equations together. Okay, again, just pay attention. This is like a balance. I can take these two, and if I add them together, and then add these two and add them together, they both all have to be equal. Because the left, we already said the left-hand side equals the right-hand side. So if I add them all together, they're still going to be equal. Well, what happens here is you add x plus 5x. That gives you 6x. Negative 2y plus 2y adds up to 0. And then negative 19 plus 1 equals negative 18. So here's my balance, which is basically a big equal sign. So what am I left with at this point? What am I left with on the left-hand side? 6x plus 0, but what's 6x plus 0? I can just make that 6x, can't I? And that equals negative 18. I can figure out what x is, can't I? Divide by what? 6. Just divide by 6. And then I get x equals negative 3. Hey, that was easy. That was easy. Basically, the negative 2y and 2y eliminated the y term. That's why it's called elimination. Okay, we're going to eliminate one of the variables. So right there, negative 2 plus 2 takes care of my y. It's gone. So now I can figure out what x is. So when you use the elimination method to solve a system, you got to align the terms together, and then you just add. Now, not everything works out quite as nice, and we'll deal with that. But in this case, it did. Again, just pay attention to this. Not on your notes. Pay attention. I got y plus 2y. I got 3x and negative 3x. I got my equal sign. Everything's lined up. Put the y's over the y's, x's over the x's. What happens when I add those two together? What's going to happen, Ryan? What do you think?
For the y.
What's going to add those two vertically? What do you think is going to happen?
Get 3y.
Okay, and then what else?
0x.
Okay.
And then would be negative 12.
Not negative 12 because you're adding. Negative 2 plus 14 would give you positive 12. The whole point that works out is that these here, the 3x and negative 3x, they're gone. It gives you 0. And once that happens, you're left with 3y equals 12. All I got to do is divide by 3. Now I get y equals 4. Now if I'm solving a system, you are not done because you have to get the other variable. You have to get, so you just plug that 4 into one of your two equations, you substitute it in for the y, and then you figure out what the x is. So in the end, I still get an ordered pair. Okay. Overall, I like this method the best. Okay, but that's me. It doesn't mean it's the one you use for all cases, but I think more often than not, it's easier. Now, this is your first part of your notes. It goes through the steps. You have to create a pair of terms that will add up to 0. That won't always be the case. We'll show you how to do that. You're going to add the equations together. You can technically subtract them, but I always like to add. We're going to solve that, and then we're going to find the other variable. There's your 4 steps. So if you take a look at the number 1 there. All right, first thing, just look at it. Will something add up to 0? Yeah. Which one? The x's or the y's? Okay, Lindsay, which one? X's or y's?
X's.
What's 3x plus x? Is that going to add up to 0?
Oh, wait. X. No.
Not the x's, but the
Oh, I did.
the y's. The y's add up to 0. So right now, something adds up to 0. So I can go ahead and I can start this problem. Okay, because I got something that adds up to 0. All right, add vertically. Well, what's 3x plus x? 3x plus x is 4x. So I got 4x. Negative 4y plus 4y adds up to 0. I don't even need to put 0y. It's gone. Equals, what's 10 plus negative 2? 8. Hey, I can solve that. 4x equals 8. Divide by what? 4. Divide by 4. Divide by 4. All right, now, x equals 2. You're not done because you do have to come up with a second variable. How do I find the second variable? Okay, I got x. X is 2. All right, how am I going to find that second one? Plug in what you got for x into what? Juan, you with me? Well, how do I find that second variable? Plug what in for y? This 2 doesn't equal y. 2 equals what? So I plug it in for what? Which equation? Doesn't matter. You do the top one. So it doesn't matter. So pick either one. So 3x minus 4y equals 10. So take the 2 and plug it in for the x. Okay. So you get 3 times 2 minus 4y equals 10. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 minus 4y equals 10. Subtract 6. I get negative 4y, don't forget that's a negative, equals 10 minus 6, which is 4. Divide by negative 4. Y equals negative 1. Write it as an ordered pair. Write it as an ordered pair. You always got to do that. That would be 2, negative 1. Now, if you really want to double check things, you test it in the other equation. The second one, we use the first one, you plug in 2, you plug in negative 1, you make sure it gives you back that same answer, whatever that gives you. That's how you test an answer. All right, so that's A. All right, look at B. Alex, look at that carefully. If you add those together, will something add up to 0? Will something eliminate?
2x.
And what's it add up to?
Negative 4.
What's 2 plus
Negative
negative 2?
4.
What's 2 plus negative 2?
Negative 4.
No. Negative 2 plus negative 2 is negative 4. So if you
0.
0,
Yeah.
that's what we want. You got a positive and you got a negative. Then you're like, great, I can just go ahead and do this. So they automatically add up. All right, when I got that, Gavin, what should I get when I add those two together?
Negative 2 and negative x. Right. 2x and negative 2x.
What does that add up to?
Nothing.
Good, adds up to nothing. Then go to the next part. What does the next part add up to?
4y.
Good, 4y. And then your equal sign has to come here because we keep everything in order. And then what do I get on the other side? Gavin?
12.
12. 25 plus negative 30. All right, there we go. Divide by 4, divide by 4. I get y equals 3. Boom, got one answer. All right, now I'm going to pick the second equation just to show you that you can use either equation. It doesn't matter. Okay, if you already started with the first one, that's fine. We got to make sure we match up. So negative 2x plus 3y equals negative 13. Y equals 3. So now you take the y out. Now remember, if there is a number in front of it, it's going to multiply by whatever we plug in there. So you got to make sure that's going to become 3 times 3. All right, now negative 2x. 3 times 3 is 9. And now I can subtract 9. I get negative 2x equals, what's negative 13 minus 9? Negative 22. And now divide by negative 2. Negative 22 divided by negative 2 will give me x equals 11. And so I get 11 comma 3 as my answer. 11 comma 3 is my answer. All right, we good? All right, now there's a problem with the next one. All right, look at it closely. Don't write anything down. Okay. What is the problem with the next one? Right.
None of them cancel out.
All right, exactly. None of them cancel out. All right. Now don't do this. Don't. Oh, one. Don't be paying.
Don't work ahead, guys.
Don't work ahead. No.
Guys, do I have any of them that have
Why
opposite
is that
signs?
0?
In other words, I have a positive, negative with my x's or my y's opposite signs anywhere? Up here.
All right, you gotta erase it.
In other words, look at the x's. I have positive 2, right? What about the y's? We have what? Positive, negative, right? So what can I get to make the top equation y so that cancels out with a negative 5? What cancels out with, what would make this cancel out? So these would cancel out. Anybody? Yes.
5.
5. What's here right now? 1, right? Does everybody see that? What can I thank you. What can I multiply 1 by to get the 5, positive 5? What would it be? 5, right? So I want to multiply. Now here's where you got to be careful. Everything needs multiplied by 5 on both sides. Not just that. Okay? Because what's 5 times 1? No, 5. So the y's will cancel out. That's why I'm doing that. All right? What's 5 times 2x, guys? What's 5 times 2? What's 1 times 5? Just distributed the 5. And then we got to go negative 5 times 5. What's that? Negative 5 times 5. Lindsay? Okay, now, so what we created was a cancellation of my x and y. What?
Why did we drop the negative sign?
Where? I didn't. This is down here. It's still right here.
Like that -5 is still negative?
Mm-hmm.
Because you.
I renamed the top one. This is my top equation. This is still my top. We're still using it. We haven't done anything with this. I just changed this one to what? Guess I should have wrote it over here. I just changed this top one to what, guys? 10x plus 5y equals negative 25. Okay? I just changed this one. Okay? I didn't do anything with the bottom one. I just changed the top one. Why did I change the top one? To change that to 5y. Now, am I going to do anything to the bottom one, guys? No, just rewrite it. 2x minus 5y equals 13. Okay? Didn't touch the bottom one. Okay, now let's add them up just like we did on the first couple examples. Now I created a cancellation, right? Elimination. So what's 10x plus 2x? 12x. What happens to my y's? They're gone. What's negative 25 plus 13? Negative 12. Now what do you do to get x? Divide by 12. What do you get, Jeff?
-1.
Now, which one makes sense? Now, let's plug into the original equations over here. Which one makes sense to get y? Top or bottom? It doesn't matter. Which one looks like it's easier to get y? First one, right? Right? First one. And I'm not going to plug it into this one, the original one. So I'm going to rewrite my original equation. And I'm going to put -1 in for x. Okay? So what do you do now, Maya?
2 times -1.
Is what? Awesome.
-2.
Keep going. How do I get y?
Subtract or add 2.
So write it as an ordered pair, Maya. My solution.
-3, -1.
X is -1.
Oh, and then -3.
Okay? So let's just talk about that. See how we had to create an elimination situation? Right? Now, the big thing is, guys, see how I multiplied by 5? Everything gets multiplied by 5 on that top equation, on both sides. Everything, not just the y term. Woo. Jeff,
What did y equal for C?
what did what?
Y equal for C?
-3? Guys, what catches your eye right now? So I want to set up an elimination. What do you guys think? Anything catch your eye? What do you think, Austin?
The second one.
You could go 2. You could create a -2. I can multiply this whole thing by -2 on the bottom. This would be 2y. This would be -2y. Yes, but what? I think there's something easier we could do.
Oh, no, I think you're talking about something else.
What's that?
I thought you were talking about something else.
What is something else I can eliminate? Go ahead.
You could times +3 on the top.
Okay. Now, you could do -2, like Austin said. Everything down here, it would create. I don't want to multiply everything by -2, though. You could, though. Guys, I'm going to multiply everything. Nice job. By 3. Because I'm going to create my elimination right there with my x's. Okay. Let's distribute the 3. What's 3 times x, guys? What's 3 times x? 3x. What's 3 times 2y? Plus 6y. And don't forget on the other side, you'll mess it up. You got to multiply over here also. 3 times 11 is what? Go ahead, Jeff.
33.
Yes. Now, did I touch the second equation, the bottom equation? So just bring it over.
Yeah, I think what he's doing here is the best way when you multiply, just write it to the right of it, and then you bring the other one over. That'll keep everything in line. And just suggestion there, if you do that, it'll make things a little bit easier.
I just did the first one the way I did it because I don't have to rewrite this bottom equation. It's ready to go. That's just me though. But this is a good way to do it. So Taryn, add everything up for us. Go. What happens to my x's? They're gone. That's why we did this. Go ahead with your y's. Yes, ma'am. Nice job. Nice job. Janet, go.
And then you divide by 7. Oh, sorry. And then 4.
Okay, so guys, all right, we got y equals 4. It really doesn't matter which one you want to plug in to get x. Doesn't matter. Griffin, go. Now, guys, I would go over here, right? Look at both equations over here. Which one you want to do? Doesn't matter.
The
First one. Okay? So instead of y, what are we plugging in, guys? 4. 2 times y means 2 times 4 because that's what y is. Okay? Diana, go.
Then you do, that would be x plus 8 equals 11.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you subtract 8, so 11,
And what do you got?
3,
So how do you write your answer, Diana?
3, 4.
3, 4. What do you guys think? Not too bad? There's one more, right? Is everybody good on this?
Hey, all right, for this last one, if you think you can do it, I give you 2 minutes, you get it right, I'll take off 2 homework problems on your homework.
You son of a biscuit.
Okay, so you got 2 minutes. If you don't know, if you know you're not going to get it right, then just wait. Okay, it's not worth the time. But you got 2 minutes. If you think you can get it right, then I'll take off a couple homework problems. Little quid pro quo.
Yeah, I know.
and I can't help you.
I'm just confused on why we did these three.
I don't know what you're asking me. Where did you get lost at?
Is
Okay, where did you get lost? We got y equals 4. Right? Did you sub it in like this?
Oh wait, I did. Sorry.
Did you sub it in the wrong one?
Yeah,
Okay.
I subbed in like half of like the main one that we had.
Yeah. That'll jack you up.
See if you can do the second one.
That'll jack you up.
Alright, let me see. I think so.
Oh, I didn't.
Let me look again now.
Okay.
No. Well, as I checked it, 4 times -3 is -12. That would be -16. Doesn't work. Oh, he's sliding now. No, I see what you did wrong. Why I'm not telling you again?
I have a question.
Of course.
So like, how you
We gotta make something add up to 0. Gotta make something add up to 0. So that's a -3, that's a 1, doesn't add up to 0. That's the whole point.
makes more sense. Thank you.
Oh, Lawrence, I got it.
I messed up here. These are supposed to be negative.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, gosh. I close.
1 point is supposed to be the negative.
The top one.
No, you're not right.
That's what I because you minus.
Alright, well, alright, now, right now, if you got an answer, just hold your hand up, and we'll go real quick, and I'll tell you yes or no. What do you got?
7, -4.
No,
9, 4.
no,
-11.
no,
3 -2.
yes. So who has 3 -2? So 8, 1, 2,
So
3, 4. Alright,
I know.
you don't have the 3. No.
I don't have a solve.
Okay, nice. Let's go through this.
What was the answer?
3 -2. So the only 3 people were Ryan, Aiden, and Alex.
We were
Damien,
4 for
you didn't have anything
I
down.
was one step away from getting it.
That's all. Wait, you were not even close.
Who got 4 for Y though?
Okay. All right. Now listen, you guys got to understand this. The whole point, because there's 2 different ways you can do this one, and both are right. You have to add something up to 0. At this point, will anything add to 0? That's a 1 and a 4. That adds up to what? 5. This doesn't add up to 0. What can I multiply one of the equations by to add up to 0? Why are you just scratching your head? Or you got an answer? What's the answer? What can I multiply by? He says 4. He is close, but he's not exactly right. -4. Because one of them has to be a negative, one of them has to be a positive. Okay, so if I multiply these both by -4, that gives me -4x minus 8y equals +4. Then the other one is 4x minus 4y equals 20. So sometimes it'll have to be a negative. Sometimes it'll have to be a negative. One of them has to be a negative, one of them has to be positive. That's the only way to add up to 0. Got it? Okay. Did anybody eliminate the y's and multiply by a number to eliminate the y's? Damien, what'd you multiply by? That's absolutely fine. You got the right answer, so don't change a thing. So now this is going to add up to -12y equals 24. Divide by -12. We get y equals -2. Now I'm not going to finish it because of time. So if you've got that, then you just substitute that in to figure out what x is. Okay, I'll get to you in a second, Ellie. All right. 1 through 11 odd. You guys are allowed to skip 2, which means, but they cannot be 2 in a row. They cannot be 2 in a row. Obviously they can't be the last 2.
Here, I'll get to it.
1 through 11 odd.
Everybody?
No, just those people.
That's for a full 100 years.
Right? But multiplied by 4, that's a positive 4. When you add those two together, it's positive 8, it's 0. So you gotta multiply by negative 4 to change all those signs.
I did it halfway. I think I got.
Well, you had 4, but yeah, you gotta multiply it by negative 4.
Oh, where are you going to be next week, Juan?
This would be a.
Oh my God, I'm
I'll come in tomorrow.
What?
Before first period.
All right, Jeff. Hey, all right, we'll write that down.
He's one of my favorite teachers, though.
That's gonna be there all day for the rest of the class to see.
Nobody knows who Jeff is.
Hey, what should we study for the thing next week?
I was a step away.
Midterm.
I'll give you all that information.
Yes, I was.
So I got
I'll give you all that information.
I got text this from Parker.
Make sure to make it safe for class.